everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about a Keurig K Compact coffee machine that is not brewing. I'll be going over the easiest fixes in this simplistic tutorial. Let's get right into the video. If your coffee machine is not brewing for you a delicious cup of coffee, this is the video for you. I'll be going over 5 specific things that you can try to do to hopefully get your machine to work again. I love these machines and they rarely have problems, but when you get a problem like it not brewing, then it prevents you from having your cup of coffee, which can be a big deal. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. The first thing you want to try, and it's probably the most obvious one, is to unplug the machine, leave it unplugged for about 30 seconds, and then plug it back in again. I should say actually at least 30 seconds, not about 30 seconds, but leave it unplugged for at least 30 seconds and then plug it back in again. Now what that does is that resets the internals of the machine, and that will likely fix any glitch that's happening. So sometimes it's just like, a little bit of a glitch, a software glitch or a hardware glitch. By resetting it like that, you're hopefully going to clear out that glitch. It's like an error, right? It happens sometimes on all technological devices, so give it a shot. That's the first thing that you can try and do. The second thing, and this is a question, please don't get angry at me for asking it, is there water in the reservoir tank, okay? You want to make sure that there's water here, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people, they just forget, because on the K Compact that's at the back, they forget to check if there's water, so there'll be no water, and it's not brewing coffee for them, obviously. So check if there's water. Now, if there's water in there, okay, what you can try to do is just give the tank just a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe, the water's not making its way down. And if there's water in there, make sure the add water light is not on. Because even if there's water in the tank, if the add water light is on, then it thinks that there's no water and it's not going to brew coffee. Whoops! And it's not going to brew coffee for you, okay? So it's just going to heat up now. Sorry about the noise in the background there. So you want to make sure that there's water in the tank and that the machine knows that there's water in the tank. So that's sort of the two-part portion for number 2. Now, if that's all good, then you're going to go on to number 3, which is to actually remove the tank and put it back on. Sometimes there's water in here, and it knows that there's water here because the add water light is not on. What you can do is remove the tank and put it back on. Because sometimes the water just isn't making its way through. This is especially true if you hear the brewing happening, but there's no water coming out. So just remove the tank, put it back on. That's it. Like literally, it'll take you a few seconds. Take the tank off completely and put it back on. Try it out because sometimes that might be the solution. Very rarely, but sometimes it might be the solution. Number 4, is there a K-cup in it? Okay, now like I said, don't get angry at me for asking, but you want to make sure there's a K-cup in there. Sometimes it's early morning, you're making your morning cup of coffee, it's super early, you're tired, you just go, you turn the machine on and you push a button. You don't realize, oh, there's not actually a coffee pot in there. So you want to make sure that there is indeed a coffee pot in there. So open it up, make sure you have a coffee pot in there. If you have that coffee pot, you should be good to go. It's as simple as that, okay? Now, it's very important also because some people might be watching this and it's their first Keurig machine and they're wondering why it's not brewing coffee, but they didn't put a Keurig K cup in there. So that's why I wanted to include this step because believe it or not, this is probably a somewhat common cause of the Keurig K Compact coffee machine not brewing coffee, that someone just forgets to put the coffee pot in, okay? Last but not least is number 5. What you can do is descale the machine. Sometimes you have a buildup of scale in here, and that actually prevents the water from making its way through. So maybe the machine knows you have water, so the machine is aware that you have water in the tank. The water in the tank is actually fine and it's making its way into the machine, but it can't make its way out, okay? If you hear a brewing sound and you're not seeing the water, this is another thing you should consider. Maybe try descaling the machine, okay? Give that a try, or you can even clean the needles, right? So just try cleaning up the needles and the lines, and there's a whole other way to do that. I'm going to do a whole separate video on that, okay? So that's basically it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment, and of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.